Are these like in
No, this is a
your?
wig. It's a
Oh,
wig.
you don't need it. You can mail that to your mother. You can mail that to your mother.
Come by here. You promise you never come by here. Come by and see about me.
Legendary children, welcome to and thank you so much for tuning in to Life After the Race, where we sit down with some of our favorite black and brown queens and we have candid conversations about surviving reality television and finding success in drag entertainment and media industries. Today's guest is my daughter, my international child, Miss Black Peppa. Oh,
Hi. How are
oh
you
my gosh.
doing, Mom?
I'm doing fabulous. Okay, now that we got the title out of the way, look, I want to know what is the first thing you did once you got home from Drag Race?
I so as soon as my phone dropped in my hands,
Yeah, because you
I
know they hold that.
even holding my phone felt strange after a month. And I called my partner and I was like, oh my God, I have so much to tell you, but I'm okay in case you're worrying. So what happened was my partner was sending me messages every day while I was away, pretending like I was replying back, which was so cute. And so when I got my phone back, I saw all the messages. It was the sweetest thing. And I was like, oh my God, just so you know, I'm in the van on the way home now. And like I just started crying. I was like, I actually did that. I made it to the finale. I did so well. And I called a few of my best friends and I was just like really emotional.
Oh, I love how for you it was a van taking you home. For us, it was a damn 16-hour flight. I live. Okay. Tell mother, what was the part of life that instantly changed for you after doing the race?
Ooh. Um That's a really good question. I think what changed for
Hmm.
me immediately after was the exposure and people knowing who I was, coming up
Mm,
after the show. I am
mm,
I'm very much like an introverted kind of person. For anyone that knows who I am, I don't like attention. Obviously, I know
mm.
what I'm signing up for when I applied for the show. And being able to go out, go to a bar, and people like, is that Black Pepper? I think stuff like that. I'm just like, girl, I'm not used to this. Sometimes I'm low key like, yeah, okay, I live for it. And other times, like, I be looking busted and I'm getting the bus trying to like get my groceries, and people are like, can I get a photo? And I'm like, babe, can you not see how I look?
Baby, I still have the wig glue right here, bitch, and leftover mascara, girl.
Yeah.
Okay, no, it's so true. It is so true. Tell me, how has it been dealing with like all of that attention? Like, how do you process that now? How do you like, do you find yourself running away? Are you wearing big sunglasses? Like for myself, I kind of started to. Oof, I've never said this out loud, but I've started to hide. Um,
You started to
a li-
hide.
yeah, it's a lot because sometimes you do be looking busted, and if you be like, and they want the fantasy right now, and you be like, like, and you gonna post this online? Oh no, ma'am. No ma'am, no ma'am, no ma'am. So I be like, baby, in sunglasses here, the ball cap here, okay, and like
Yeah.
all black. You look fabulous, but you just like, ooh, like you look important, but just like, like where's my
Yeah.
security type teeth? That's what that's for me. I'm like, ooh, not
Yeah.
today, please, not today, not today.
I
Like, so
feel
how is
like
it?
I disguise myself like wearing a cap and a hoodie. If I don't
Mm,
have my braids in, I can get away with wearing a cap and a hoodie like I did
mm.
earlier today. And people don't recognize me. I don't really like sunglasses because I think my eyes draw people in and I don't want to cover that up. So, and you just never know who you might bump into. Hey, so
It's very. What is that? Memoirs of a Geisha. What is it? You had like a 3-second look. You had to look. Ooh, girl,
mm.
yes. Ooh, she says, baby, I want you to look at me. Ooh, discovered in Walgreens.
But if anything, it's making me like like it's making me take better care of myself. Like, I wake up and
Yes.
I don't give a shit and I leave my house and I go to the shop and I come back, whatever. And now I think I'm a bit more conscious about when I leave my house, I'm like, you know what? Let me put a little bit, let me extra moisturize, or let me do something. You just never know who you're gonna bump into. You never know who's gonna take a photo of you. You know, it's not like I'm Beyonce, but you know what I'm trying to say. Like, you just want to make sure that you look your best every time that you leave that house.
How's your airport fashion? I feel like for me, my airport fashion has become the thing. Like, I'm like, okay, what shoes am I gonna wear once I'm there, and then what shoes am I taking? Like, am I leaving in? Because you have to look good, baby. Like, what? Excuse me with the bag? Yes. Okay. What is
Well,
airport fashion?
my airport fashion, it depends on how I feel. So I just came from Australia with the top four girls, and
Ooh, how was that?
it was the best experience of my life. I mean,
Was that your first time?
it's my first time. Like, I've done tours before in England, but it's my first time in Australia, first of all, and doing a tour where you're flying on a plane to different parts of Australia every single day.
Yeah.
And that was like very exhausting. So by day one, you're like, I look cute, I'm gonna wear my platforms and my buffaloes and whatnot. And by day six, you're like, fuck this shit. I just don't care anymore. I'm gonna put my sandals on, I'm gonna wear my hoodie, I'm gonna put my bandana, and I'm gonna be snuggled up and comfortable on the plane. And don't you dare look at me. I think at that point, like, you just you go into overdrive, you don't care anymore. But like, I remember the first time when I went through security, you know, airport security, and I have these shoes that have the springs in them. They're like the buffalo shoes.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
cunt, but like, no one says how difficult they are to travel through security. The security be like, you need to take those shoes off. And every time I went through security, I had to take the shoes off, and everyone's watching me like I'm crazy. And I was like, soon, I was like, nah, I can't do this anymore. I really want to look cute. I
No.
really want to cut it up, but
I live. How has like newfound fame, uh money and opportunities, like what was the first thing you purchased once you were like, I got a little coins now, I got a little coins. Like, what was the first thing? Was
oh,
it more drag? Was
I
it, like boy clothes, or, just regular day clothes or whatever?
I purchased a laptop.
Uh,
I purchased a MacBook Pro because, I was doing everything from my phone, and I was doing well. And I thought, as soon as I get some money, I'm gonna get myself a laptop. My partner helped with that, and I also make sure I got more drag, because a lot of the drag that I had was like recycled up,
mm,
like that kind of stuff. And I wanted things that were custom made just for me, because like, I didn't have the money to do that before.
hmm
Being on the show, I got myself in a lot of debt. So as soon as I started making money, I was paying off these designers.
hmm
And that was like my priority. And after paying off the designers, as soon as I started having money that was now mine and I don't owe anyone anything, then I started getting the hair, the nails, the heels, the custom looks. And I started going on more holidays. I want to take better care of myself. She works really hard. She travels a lot. She's tossing herself around the stage. I need to get those pedicures, back massages, manicures, facials. I, like,
I
so
love that you just said pedicures. I'm sorry, because right now I feel like we're in the season of the dolls and the divas, because there is a difference of people who want to just be in open toe shoes and have crunchy toes. So I just love that you were like the pedicures, like you started with that when I live. Yes, ma'am.
you need to look good from the inside out, from the top to
Amen.
bottom. And I think if your toes are not matching your roots, then you need to check that. So I make sure that I take a lot of care of my feet, because like there's your feet, babe. You can get calluses and you can get like core and all these kind of things. You're wearing heels all the time as a career. A lot of queens don't tell you this, but you need to take really good care of your feet, especially if you're wearing heels for a long period of time.
hmm
Especially for me, I wear pleasers and platforms 10 inches. And I'm sometimes wearing tight ass heels and jumping in split soft bars. Like, my feet are going through it. So
I live. I love that you take holidays and you do self care. I think that that is something I wish I did early on in my career. I felt like because I didn't have money going on Drag Race, and I just needed look after look after look after look. And then I had all these damn clothes, and then I outgrew them. And you know what I mean? And then you're like, what the hell, bitch? So you're like, then you give it away, and then you're like,
I
where's
need a
my
new wardrobe.
money? You know, but I think if you create those moments where you go on holiday and you get to see something new and you get to be energized, when you go to make those new garments, you have new inspirations, new, new desires, new dreams. So I really, really love that. But talking about spending coin, do you feel the pressure of going mainstream and capitalizing off the show? Like, because there's so much money to be made there. Like, how does that, do you feel that pressure of like being,
Like changing my aesthetic to fit the mold of what the show wants me
yeah,
to be.
yeah,
Of course. I'm not gonna lie. I feel it every single day. Every time I get a job, every time I get a booking, I have people that expect what they saw on the show to be given.
mm,
And I
mm-hmm,
have to remind them like what you saw on the show is a fraction of what I can do. I
mm-hmm,
do a lot of things that
mm-hmm,
wasn't on the show. Second of all, I think we're going into a new era of drag where everyone is wearing the human wigs and everyone is um the aesthetic has changed so much, and my aesthetic is not the typical pretty girl. I really
mm-hmm.
give a ode to my roots, to my Black roots. I give a ode to my Caribbean heritage. And I love to be ugly. I love to be pretty. I love to be alien. I think I really switch it up, and you can't just like predict what I'm gonna do. And I think that's what
You
it is.
really can. You
Yeah.
really can. You really, really can. I think that's what really sets you apart. I mean, give you a category and watch you eat. It is so crazy. Like, I mean, here you go. To say, I think the first time I saw you, wait a minute. I think I saw your black, you were like in this black leather look, right? And I was like, who is she? And then I think you did a cloud look, and
Yeah.
I was like, then I think you did two other photo shoots that were really cut, and then you did one where you were on the wall, like on that build.
Yeah.
By that
Dangerous
point, I
height.
was like, yes, dangerous heights. I said, oh, I have to. I said, I have to adopt her. I said, who is your mother, bitch? Who is your mother? Like, oh my gosh. I was like, this one is
And
mine.
that was
This one
during
is mine.
lockdown. That was like right
Yes.
during lockdown as well. When I was bored to death. I had nothing better to do. And I was like,
But
you know what?
create.
I am gonna go outside and I'm gonna climb on top of this building, even if it costs my life, and I'm gonna take some cunty photos. And I think that was when my creativity really exploded. Like a lot of people, for them, lockdown was really bad. For me, lockdown was what ignited my creativity. I honestly don't
It
think
really
I would have
did.
been where I am today if it wasn't for lockdown and having to be forced to find a different route. Because yes, I can perform, but if the clubs are closed, then
Mm,
what am I gonna do? I am a creative bitch.
mm,
I am an artist. I know how to bring concepts to life. And that's a gift that I'm really thankful that I have, that not much people can say that that's their secret weapon and they can really bring something that unique visually, as well as being a good performer on top of that. So I was just so grateful for lockdown that it really helped me. And you discovered me. We did the show, which I remember like it was yesterday, which is so wild.
and then coming to your house and then getting to go on top of the roof was gorgeous.
Yeah.
Dying, almost trying not to die there as well, girl. Oh my God, dear Lord Jesus. I just love that lockdown was such a good time of growth. And I feel that a lot of times people will waste an opportunity instead of going deep and really saying like, who am I, who am I, who am I, because I think in the lockdown you were able to tap into what was there. And I tell people all the time, like, you have to tap into what is truly you and not being a carbon copy. Like right now I'm very bored in drag. I'm very like over it. It's very like everybody wants to be pussy cunt, pussy cunt. And I'm like, I can do that, and I look good
Yeah.
in it, but you know what I mean. It's just like you're just another one, and I feel like when you're a black girl, it just
Mm.
doesn't. hit the same. Like you have to still perform just as hard as you had to do. You know what I mean?
Just as hard
And
as you gotta look
you,
good.
it's just so crazy, baby. Like I have
Yeah.
to break my body, I have to do all of this, and still be like, and then I
Yeah.
just did me, and then they're gonna have you do the same thing, and then they want the next girl to do the same thing, and then they're gonna have the rest of the white girls just
Yeah.
woo woo woo. You just go, no, I'm
You
bored. I
know.
want to see something different. So I have been telling those close to me, please dive deep and get into what is really, really you. Like I have a friend of mine, your sister, Miss Cardi G. And I tell her all the time, like,
Yeah.
I'm like, your comedy is your strength. You know what I mean? Like, yes, you look
Yeah.
beautiful, beautiful Latina woman, this, that, and the third, but like your comedy is your strength. And I think a lot of people just know how to do one thing. They know how to paint one face. They know how to do one expression. And so I think once again, the black girl being the one being multifaceted, it it is just so I wish you lived here, but it is at least I can go on your social media and watch
But you
some of
know
this
what?
shit.
Like the future is limitless. Like I was saying the other day that, I might just move. Like I loved Australia so much. And I was like, I could even move Australia. And then I was like, I want to go to LA and see what that's like, because then I might live there too. Like I migrated from the Caribbean. I came to England, and I feel like the way that my career is as an artist, like I have to follow my heart. And I think right now I'm in a stage where I'm like trying to find and adjust and see where it's best for me, because the life is limitless. You can go as far as you want to go, and I don't think you living in England is the is the grand finale of Peppa. So
Yes, I love that. Can you tell us really quick what it was like migrating from the Caribbean to the UK? It's almost like you're a nomad. So hearing you say you could live anywhere,
yeah,
yeah, just kind of tell us about
Mike,
that.
I don't think a lot of people realize how difficult it is to get up and leave your home, the place where you were born, the place where you were raised, the place where the cultural dish where you made all your friends in your life, have all your family there, and then get up, pack a suitcase or two, and go to a whole nother continent and be, amongst a different culture, have that cultural shock and just like start over fresh. When I migrated from St. Martin, I kind of moved as a way of, I need to leave. Like I need to escape my family. I need to escape the church, because they ruined my life. I didn't have a choice, and as much as I want to say that it was hard, I felt so relieved when I came here because I finally had that freedom that I always wanted. I didn't have anyone telling me what to do, and as much as things are difficult, I always found joy in the little things. Like I hate the
Mm.
cold, but you know what? I didn't give a shit. I was like, I will layer up. I will buy the cheapest fur coat I can find in Primark, or as they call it, Primani, and I will find a way to
Yes,
survive.
it's
And
the
like
truth.
it was so hard. I went to university here, and I think a lot of people don't realize that I actually migrated for the sake of university. I did 3 years, studied biomed, graduated with honors, first class degree, which I'm so proud of, and I always brag about it because it was such a difficult degree to do. And after that, I was like, I was doing this for my parents. I don't want to do it anymore. I want to actually be an artist. I've always wanted to be an artist and perform. In order for me to get a scholarship back home at the time, if you said you wanted to do a degree that involved art, like dance, theater, you wouldn't get a
Mhm.
scholarship. You had to say
Uh,
you would be maybe a teacher or a lawyer or a doctor, and then they'd be like, okay, we'll give you the scholarship. So I had to kind of lie and be like, yeah, I want to be a doctor, although I damn well knew I didn't want to be a doctor. And even though I was good at it because I was a science student in high school. I did physics, chemistry, biology, geography. I did all of them, and I was very good at them. Didn't mean that I like it. So they were like, you're good at it. If you can do this, we'll give you the scholarship. I saw that as the ticket to leave, and I really wanted to leave, so I just was like, yeah, I'll do it. Came to England, studied biomed, and then finally I was like, now it's time for me to do me. I'm not going to be living for my parents anymore or for people that want me to be what they think I should become. And then I finally, I moved to Birmingham, which is where I live now. I left Coventry, saw the drag scene there. So I started off as a go-go dancer. just dancing in the bars with barely anything on and making tips and stuff like that. And then, Halloween time came and the owner of Nightingale saw me and was like, would you want to like maybe work here and maybe do drag now and then? Because the queens there were doing drag except for me. So I was probably the first one to do the gender bending thing where everyone was just a drag queen only. No one was really doing maybe the boy going with makeup and
Yeah.
whatever. I don't want to claim that, but I feel like I was the first. And then obviously I was the black one. The only
Mm.
other black person was Why She Black, who you went on
Mm.
tour with. And Why She is amazing, but Why She is not me. And I felt like I needed to really I need to culturally reset Birmingham, so to speak.
Mm.
And eventually when I started doing drag here, then I felt my purpose, and I felt really fulfilled. I made my own family because I didn't really have my family support from the Caribbean. And it was life changing, honestly, Mo, because like a lot of people don't realize, like, yes, you can have your family, but it's hurtful when you don't actually have your blood family, no matter how much you want to
No, that's the
convince
truth.
yourself.
It's the truth.
It's really hard to, Christmas time, you see people cutting it up with their families, baking their turkeys and their ham. And you're like, oh, I don't need my family. I'll just, I'll stay in my little corner. But like your heart is still broken because you kind of wish that
Mm.
you had your mom or your dad or your aunt or your grandma to be with, nothing will ever be
Mm.
as similar to that. So
Does your parents know of your success of Drag Race and whatnot?
they know now. It took a while, even after the show aired. I don't think they even realized the scale. And then a newspaper article came out back home. I think I shared it a couple months back, and I was very much scared about it because obviously it's homophobic where I'm from. So if a newspaper article got out about me, my parents are going to be immediately affected. People know where they live, people can be egging up their
Right.
house. I don't know. And I was scared about the repercussions of that. And to my surprise, there are a lot of people that reached out and was like, we're so proud of you, Akeem. So we want you to know that a lot of people here are so proud of you. Oh God, like it made me so emotional because I've been running away from the idea of anyone knowing what I did. Because
Mm.
I just didn't think anyone would care. And when that came out, my mom reached out and was like, yes, I saw the newspaper article. And I just want you to know that me and your dad, we're here for you. We might not agree with everything, but we're here for you and we love you. And you're our only son. And we don't want you to think that whatever people are saying is going to get in the way. And you know what, Mo? Like, there's nothing in life that could have mended my heart when my mom told me that, because I was carrying this around for years. From, the time I left home till now, I've been carrying this pain around that my parents just, I probably won't ever get along with them. I probably won't ever talk back to them. And I really did push
Mm.
them away. And I think Drag Race did the favor for making this relationship go to where it is today, because I probably would have never gotten to that point because I never wanted to talk
Mm.
back to them because they made me go
Mm.
through so much. And I'm just so grateful now because, like, a lot of people always give the church hell. And, no matter how much I don't care for the church, I have a lot of principles instilled in me growing up in the church. And I always think being kind is so important, and having good principles instilled in you is really important. And that's really helped me in so many more ways than I thought in my drag career.
I love that so much. Like, I love that. I said it on season 10 about like it is hard being black and queer or in trans or whatever. Because like the indoctrination that has come down from the whites, our parents, then beat down into us because it's beat down into them. And so, blackness is like we have all of these other issues going on with us. How dare you be effeminate? How dare you be gay? Like, this is
Mm-hmm.
so not like the Bible, yet they're eating pork. This is so not like the Bible, yet they're eating all of this kinds
Mm-hmm.
of shellfish, wearing two types of
Yeah.
linen. Baby, when your mother was on her menstrual cycle, did you send her away? No, you didn't. Make it make sense, baby. Make it make sense,
Yeah.
you know? And the pressures of raising a black male child. I don't care where you are. It is just harder on, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So to be queer, to know, to have all of that, and then to run away, to find safety, to find a safe space where you can finally exhale to breathe. You find that in the UK, in Birmingham, you start to perform, and in the whole time you were in running away, God was setting you up to like run back home in a sense, you know, like no one would have ever thought
Mm.
Ru fucking Paul, bitch. You know, people want to drag that man all day, but who would have ever thought that
Charles.
his show
Yeah.
would be that big? And queerness is not safe, but RuPaul is. You know what I mean? Like gay people aren't loved and
Yeah.
accepted, but RuPaul is. So the blessing of being in proximity to RuPaul to shift the narrative of what gayness, queerness, trans, um, the gender identities and expression, to shift that narrative to where a newspaper article can be printed, people back home and your family, and just to
Mm.
have your mom say, because my mom says the same thing to me. She goes, look, I may not agree with everything, but I love my baby. I think that is so healing and so necessary. And this will speak volumes to so many.
Yeah.
I mean, right now we know Uganda is going through it with where they criminalize homosexuality and you know, you can be put to death. And that's in 2023. You know, so just with all of everything going on, I think it is beautiful to hear that, in the words of RuPaul, the magic of drag is bringing people together. It really,
Yeah.
really is. So I think that that is so amazing. Look, is there still work to be done? Yes. Is there still
Of
room to
course.
grow?
Yeah.
Yes. But baby, we thank God for the little bit that was there. Tell me this. Do you think post drag race opportunities are favored towards certain queens? And what do you think plays into that?
Oh God. Definitely does play a role into that. A lot of queens either get jobs or they don't get jobs. I have to say I've been very lucky and fortunate. I've been busy. I have been working tirelessly nonstop since the show has finished. With gigs, with music. I am booked and blessed to the fucking bone. I'm very thankful.
Amen.
Where some girls do
Amen.
not have the luxury of having as many things. You know, some girls have been having to do any gig they can find, and you know, I don't.
Wow.
Yeah, and it is sad, and this is what I think plays into it, right? I think the way that the show shows perceives the queen can really play a huge role into that. If the show made you look like dirt, and you know, people would be like, blame it on the edit. Let me tell you something. Like a lot of these queens are so talented and they're so amazing at what they do. And sometimes the show does them dirty. Like, for example, look at Lucy LaDuca, right? I'm sure she's an amazing queen. The show has made her look so delusional and crazy that, you know, people are acting like she is that way. To a degree, she might be, not saying that she isn't, but you know, the show has the power in a way to really make someone look a certain way. And then when the show is done, people are treating you based off of how the show perceived you to be. And that's just the terrible thing about Drag Race, you know?
Look, here you go. I think what people forget is that it is a reality show. And so within every reality
And then a
show, you have to
competition.
have these, and then a competition. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so you have to have, you know, each show needs a character. You know, you're going to have a
Mhm.
protagonist and an antagonist. You're going to have a villain. You're going to have this. That. But the reality is, if you don't give them ammunition to work with, then you can't be that character. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So here you go. Your drag can be great, but if you're not, here you go. If you're not written to be the lead, but nothing about you is giving
Giving,
the
yeah.
producers the thought that you're the lead, then you're not going to be perceived as the lead. Boom. But
Yeah.
I will agree. I will agree that, like, here you go. Whatever you show on Drag Race will live there forever. And sadly enough, people that watched you on Drag Race will not continue. The majority won't continue with your career to see every little thing you're doing. The girls that look like money and all of those things that make it to the top, hey, you will have a better outcome. But I
Yeah.
do think a lot of the girls who get on think that just because they were on, that life
They're
is
gonna
just going
be
to roll out the
handed.
red carpet.
Yes. Yes.
That is
That
not the
is
truth.
true.
That is
The
not
hard
how the
work starts when the show is
after you
over.
go home. That's the truth. When RuPaul
The
said,
minute I
"This is
left the
the
show
beginning, the
of the rest
beginning.
of your
This is."
life. And like I've always been a hard worker, and I never for 1 second thought that just because I'm on Drag Race now, let me just sit back and see what's gonna happen. No, I have been applying for so many different modeling agencies. I've been pushing myself in the fashion world, going to different red carpets, putting my name out there, with the help of my management, obviously. But like, I'm not going to be there and just wait and hope like a miracle falls into my lap. I
Yeah.
think a lot of people, and also like even before Drag Race, like we just need to put a lot of effort into what we do. If you really love drag and you really are passionate about something, you're not going to sit on your ass and not do anything. You're going to be like, you know what, I want to work in this venue because this venue is where all the money is at. Or I want to travel to this country. I don't want to just stay local. I want to go abroad, and I want to do this and that. Like, this is how my brain has been working before Drag Race. The minute the show is
Oh,
over.
pause real quick. I will say this. People who go into Drag Race, now, I snatched you up and I was another one in your ear, like, hey, make sure you got a plan and a vision, because you have to look at Drag Race as an opportunity, as a launching ground. You cannot get on the show and go, oh, I want to do drag and get on Drag Race. Then what? You
Mm,
have to have a plan and a vision, and you can look at your own success, that you had a plan and a vision. I mean, from looks from head to toe, the thereafter, making sure that you're in this room, in that room, in this space, in that space. And I really
yeah.
do think that you have to, here you go. You working in fashion and working in performance spaces makes sense. Why? Because that's what you were doing. That's what your Instagram shows. I think a lot of girls just can do pretty makeup or do decent makeup and, like, oh, I'm funny. Does the world know you're funny? Because if you're doing someone else's TikTok voice, I don't know you're funny, because that's TikTok. You know what I mean? Show me. Like, here
Yeah.
you go. No shade. If Lucy LaDuca has dropped a song, I haven't heard anything about it. You know what I mean? Like that, and that's no shade. Where is the music? Where is you singing live on your Instagram, or you singing and making a reel? Like, where's the content? Because that is the work. That is, here you go. If you say, like Denali, she's another one. Denali goes, I'm an ice skater. You know what Denali does? Make videos in the damn ice ring. That's where you should be, because that's what the
Hmm.
gig you want. She wants to be Disney on Ice. You should be in it. You know what I mean? Show us those kind of things, and you will get there. And I think that a lot of people just be like, "Oh, my drag is sickening," and yeah, bitch, I'm bored. I mean, we can all know this after being. You have been, a local girl and now an international superstar. A lot of the times, we would take the crunchy bitch with bad makeup who is an amazing entertainer, not just through the dance, but like she's funny, she's this, that, and the third, over the bitch who's just pretty and step touch.
Mm,
You know what I mean? Like, here you go.
yeah.
No shade to her. Why she black is not giving you high glamour, gorge, this, that, and the third. But put the bitch on stage. Put the girl on stage, and watch she black is going to eat the girls up, baby. She, for
Yeah.
real. You know what I mean? Like, so everything doesn't need to be, but it needs to have a vision and a plan. One thing I love that you said is that you make your concepts a reality.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that the execution matches the intention. It is so, like, I feel like drag queens nowadays truly, especially once you get on Drag Race, you are an international superstar, and that is what you have to present. You know what I mean? You know what we're not seeing? Ripped tights, dirty tights, rusty tights. No, because we don't see that on
No.
Beyonce. We not seeing that on Miss Miley Cyrus, so I don't see that on you. And I don't care
Yeah.
if you at brunch. I don't care if you at brunch. I don't care. You know what I mean? Bitch, look
Yeah.
appropriate. And put on
Yeah.
earrings. Tell me this. What are the things? Give me three things that annoy you about other drag queens that you see, like when you see the lace, or if they put
Ooh.
a wig and they didn't glue their ear tabs on. I hate when you see a queen
Ah.
and she is
Oh my
beautiful, mug,
God.
nails, everything, and doesn't wear an earring. Cheryl Hole. I read her. I told that to her face. I love Cheryl, but Cheryl be looking gorgeous and never has on an earring. I be like, bitch, put on just an earring, Cheryl. I don't want you to name names, but I just want you to say, like, what's the thing
Oh my
that
God.
bugs you?
I think the thing that what gets under my skin is when the lace is not glued, and like you can clearly see that the lace is lifted off the skin, and I'm like, why that wouldn't have even taken a minute, babe, like to just like it's the least, like
Tie it down.
I
Bitch,
like
tie it
even putting nails takes more time than gluing your lace. So like if you
It's
don't
the
have
truth.
nails, look, I was doing this video call and I glue my nails on while doing it, yeah. And I'm just doing a
Yeah,
video. Imagine if I'm in
yeah,
person, you will not
yeah.
catch me alive, like without nails on unless I'm wearing a glove. And like to me, the lace
Right,
is one thing. The lash
right.
coming off in the inner bit of the eye. So,
Yes! When you look down and you got me, wait. You look down, but it be giving this, girl. It be
yeah,
like, why is it over here and not on the eye,
yeah,
girl? It's right here. Hey, y'all,
very
how y'all
that.
doing? That's what it be giving. Very bad.
And the tights is giving me three shades lighter than your actual color or 3 shades darker. So it's giving maybe maca and then you're giving dark chocolate or something. Like I really cannot stand, and I don't like to see when dark skinned girls have tights that look like there's an orange undertone when you had a yellow undertone and you're like, why you orange, bitch? Like I hate to see that. Like I can't. And if you're gonna wear
It's
padding,
hard.
straighten out your pads. If wear layer up your tights.
Amen. Oh my gosh, girl. Look, I don't think pads need to be this big. You know what I mean? To give you an hourglass shape. Because I hate when you see them, it be shoulders, waist, and then their hips sit like two, like chairs, girl, right here,
Yeah.
and then go down. Be like, baby, it's not giving. With the real race now just getting started, where do you want to go from here? Like, what now? Like, where do you see Black Peppa? I envision Black Peppa, this, that, and the third.
Oh, I want to really go more into. I want to integrate myself more into music and fashion. I obviously fashion is something I really love. I've been working on a lot of things in my wheelhouse since the show. Things that I've been very insecure about. Like I felt like I needed to work on my sewing skills. I feel like I needed to work on my dancing skills. I'm not a trained dancer. A lot of people think I probably am, but I'm not. And I've always wanted to fine tune a lot of things about myself that I never probably had the money to do. I wanted to have someone to train me properly, and that's just something for myself. I've always wanted to do. Music was something that I never really thought would have been a thing. I just enjoy writing poetry, and now my
Mm,
poem is becoming lyrics to music,
mm,
which I never thought would have been something. And I think that's so refreshing that a hobby of mine since a child, now I can bring that into the music world. I want to release music that make people feel really happy because
mm,
we're in a time right now where the world is kind of scaring me in all honesty, and I feel like we need something to take our minds off of the actual reality of it all. And I want music that conveys a good message, music that takes you to a place that you can really not ponder on what's really happening in the current situation, because it is really depressing to think about all of that. And just bring you joy. Like growing up in a church, in a Pentecostal church, you listen to the song and you tapping your feet, and like I've learned that music can really take people to another place. And that's just something that I've the passion was there, but now it's there more than ever. And I think that I can definitely see a career there for me. In terms of the fashion world, I have been integrating myself in so many ways. I have been told that I will never be a model. I have been told that I'm too ugly to do it. I've been told I'm too black to do it. I've seen girls on my season get signed by modeling agencies when I haven't been. And you know what? I didn't let that kick me down. I decided I'm going to keep working at it. I remember my manager was like, don't worry. Like I had like 3 agencies that turned me down. And, you know, it was hard because, you know what, you look at yourself and you're like, I'm just as good as these girls, if not better. I might not look like them, but they're just what the world wants. And I think it's getting your mind out of that and being like, you know what, instead of letting that kick me down, I'm just going to keep it moving. And I'm going to have a story to tell one day. Because, you know, I've always been told I can never be this, I can never be that. And this is not the time in my life for me to be feeling like the same way I did when I was a young child. I am going to capitalize on the goods that I have. And I'm going to use that to inspire people all around the world, because no one else can say what Black Peppa has said. Like, only Black Peppa can say what Black Peppa's been through. And that is like the thing that makes me so special. Like, and sometimes I do brag about it because I'm just thankful I went through a lot of the things that I've went through, because, you know, like, I was like, why did my parents have to treat me this way? Why did I have to migrate to England? Why was I gay? Why was I this? Why was I that? And, you know, come to realize that God was just preparing you for the bigger picture. You didn't know what all of this was for. It was leading you up to a certain point, and so that you would be able to have a story. And a lot of things in my career, I want to be able to motivate people, whether it's through public speaking, whether it's through writing a book, whether it's through my bio. I want to be able to tell people and show people that there's light at the end of the tunnel, no matter how difficult things might be. And I think that is why I'm your daughter. You know, when it comes to the heart side of things, I have such a heart, and I am such a genuine person inside. And like, I'll do literally anything if you're mine and if I have love for you. And that is basically what I see myself doing. I want to change the world with my talent and my skills, and I want to improve myself, basically.
I love this. I'm inspired. I'm happy. Oh, my child, that's my daughter. Look, I just love hearing that. And, you know, here you go. I remember the time where there was just Naomi Campbell, you know what I mean? And just Beverly Johnson. And then, well, actually, I think before that it was Grace Jones. You know, it was just the one.
Oh, yeah.
And now we have so many beautiful Black women with full features, and Black men with full features that are not this Eurocentric Greek bullshit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I see you there. I see your face there, giving angles, giving body. Ah, bitch, make these hoes eat. And here you go. Your time will be your time. You know what I mean?
Absolutely,
I
yeah.
believe you will be there when it is the right time. So continue to work and put forth those other things, so that way you're not just a model sign. That's cute. You know, anybody can walk in something, but honey, we want to be great. And so, honey, when God puts you there, oh, in the
No
words
one
of
can
Angela
take you out of
Bassett,
it.
baby. Baby Angela Bassett said, "What if God be for you? Who can be against you?" So, yeah, I love this. Hearing your story, hearing your journey, and how you're working and you're booked and blessed. I mean, that is, baby, the first blessing right there, because you could just be sitting at home. But the fact that you are doing so many other things just continues to show us that there's never like an ending point for you. You never, it's not like,
Yeah.
oh, she fizzled out because she did this. No, like, baby, I'm still pulling this out and pulling this
Yeah.
out. And so I feel like as you continue to love on you and continue to discover all that is within you, I think that we're just going to be along for the ride and continue to be
Oh yeah.
entertained. So
This is the only job that I have. I am not doing a
I
9 to
live.
5, okay?
I live.
Drag is
Yes,
my
I know
job.
that's right.
I wake up, I answer my emails. Drag is my priority. And you know, I don't understand how it could be any other way if that's what you do full
Mm,
time. And
right.
like, as much as you live and you breathe and you have energy, like, I think you need to get up, wake up, do what you have to do. My parents always tell me, wake up early and do what you have to do. And I think having a really good business mindset It's not waking up 2 o'clock in the afternoon and being like, oh, now what I'm going to do. Like, you need to wake up and always have something ready to do. There's always something you can get done every single day that passes by. And I don't waste time.
I live. Sis, I'm so excited for your journey. Thank you so much for just connecting with me. We haven't spoken in so long because the girl's been working, girl.
Oh, God,
She's
I
been
know.
busy. I live. Tell us about the Voss tour and all of those things and how that's going.
Oh my God. So I'm so excited. Like, so today I had my first rehearsal with Philip, who's one of the choreographers for Voss. And I am going to be doing a full Black Peppa / Grace Jones / Beyonce / Josephine Baker experience. And you have a lot to do with that influence. So your runway that you did with the banana skirt, the Josephine Baker skirt, I was like, my dancers need to be wearing that. And then I'm going to be Grace Jones Camp Vamp, where I have the tribal marks painted over my body with the red hair. And then I'm going to be doing a grown woman experience with the leopard print. Like, it is going to be out of this world, a full-on 5-minute number. And like the dancers, after we were rehearsing, they were like, oh, the breath, everyone was sweating. And they were like, girl, this is going to be out of this world. And I'm like, yeah, I know.
Only as my kids do, girl. Only as my kids do. I live.
My dream is to tour the world. And the Voss tour has been just the icing, like the tip of the iceberg with what I want to do. Like, I want to tour the world, like how you see Priyanka do it, Bianca does it. I want to tour the world and do like shows that people would be like, wow, you know, Sasha Velour is a good example of that. Putting on Smoke and Mirrors and doing something that no one has ever seen before by a drag queen. Like, this is my dream, like to put on great shows. And I think being able to perform in Voss tour for people to see, oh, bitch, oh, okay, that's what she does. It is just so amazing to have this opportunity to present on stage. So I am really excited. A lot of the girls have been working tirelessly, preparing their numbers and their costumes and all of that. So it is going to be a hell of a tour.
I cannot wait to see the videos and clips and
it's going to be
everything,
cut.
girl.
It's going to be cut. I did my
excited.
visuals for this yesterday. Oh, it's extra. I got to have a visual before I come on stage.
That part. Okay, we need the drama.
Yeah.
Ooh, bitch, where? We need it all. We need it all. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in to Life After the Race, baby. Where we get to dive deep with the dolls. And my daughter, Black Peppa, thank you so much. It has been amazing. Tune in to us next time to watch another episode of Life After the Race, and we'll see you next time. Bless you all. Bye.
Mwah.
Rich pieces of you, yeah.